Why'd you partner me with her? Oh my. So like, do you talk? Like, do you speak? Do you speak? Can we switch partners? Like, can we switch? Even she's laughing at my jokes. Guys, she can laugh. That's like my bestie. Like, stop. Like, I'm actually partnering with my bestie right now. Hey, bestie. Oh my god. So for the group project, I'll do the title slide if you want to do everything else. Jason, stop. You're so mean. Oh my god. What are your pronouns? Oh my god, guys, she thinks I'm being serious. Oh my god, bro, she's so chopped. She's so chopped. She's so chopped. Do you, like, talk, or do you talk? That's my bestie, for real. Oh my god. Hey, bestie. Oh my god. Ew. Oh my god, she's so...
Why don't I like her?
Yeah, why?
She's a bitch.
Bye.
I mean, girl, please, I'm a bitch. But I admit it, you know, I'm like an honest person. She's like a bitch, but she's in denial about it. And she's like, why would you say that about me? Every single time you try to like call her out on her like bitchery. And I say this out of love, but you always complain about him, but you never do anything to change it.
Bruh.
So at this point, I think you like the problems.
Come here.
What?
Do you like this dress on me?
You want my opinion?
Yes, and be honest.
You don't want my opinion. You think it's okay for him to treat you like that because that's how your dad treats your mom. Like, it's not even your fault though. That's what you've been so used to seeing, you know? That's just not what love is.
And I eat clean all day, but I just can't lose any weight.
Okay. And you're serious about losing weight, right?
Yes, help me.
I think the problem is not what you are eating during the day, but what you are eating at 1 a.m. at night when you kind of clear the whole pantry. Am I going? No. I'm definitely not going. I don't like her.
Oh.
Every time you tell her something, she'll just like, she has like a mouse on her and she'll just run and tell that secret to everybody. You go hang out with her though. Just tell her I'm sick or something.
Girl, bye.
Hey guys, come with me to get ready with, get ready with me. So, I literally look chopped. I look chopped. This is so embarrassing. I hope no one I know sees this. I don't even know why I'm posting it. So, yeah. I'm doing my makeup to go hang out with my friends today, so, yeah. Guys, I'm like super stressed right now because my needle broke last week, and I'm gonna go get a new one today, but that was like my favorite needle, so I was like super upset. So I'm gonna use this blush because yeah, I like love Rhode. Hailey Bieber is like my icon, so if you like Selena, you're like weird. So stop. Why do I literally still look so bad? So I'm gonna use Summer Fridays. I like love Summer Fridays. I have so many Summer Fridays, so yeah. Okay, bye guys.
Storytime on had the whole SLT was looking at me for when I was skipping drama. If I don't want to go to a lesson, I go to this place called Oasis and I just talk to my favourite teacher. But when I tell you I had drama and they don't want to go, I went to Oasis. My favourite teacher wasn't there. Bear in mind, my break finishes at 10:20 and this time was 10:15. Me being me, I just ran to the English toilets. The thing is, I would have gone to the math toilets, but the math toilets is literally where the canteen is. And that's mostly where some of the SLT people stay at. So I run to the second middle stall and I sit on the toilet, like not obviously in the toilet, like on the toilet lid so they can't see my feet. And I'm just scrolling on TikTok, that's pretty much it. And then when I tell you, I hear one of the SLT members walking past the toilet. Thank God I left the toilet door a bit open. So one of the SLT members was waiting outside the girls' toilet. The thing with my school, we don't actually have a door to the toilet. Like obviously we have stalls that have doors in it, but to enter, there's no door to it. So I had to be extra quiet. So while the SLT member's coming, I slowly open the door a bit just in case it creaks. So it looks like nobody's in there. So the SLT member just waits there for like 5 minutes for no reason. Then they finally walk away, but I think my teacher realised I wasn't in lesson, so they went and reported me as missing student. And then I'm like, wait, they're gonna keep coming back and forward because this is the most popular place to bunk. This was a very, very risky decision. I grabbed my bag outside of the toilet, so there's like a hallway down there and you go there and there's up the stairs. I look left and right and I just run. So I'm on their second staircase floor and I keep going straight and then go down because that's like another way to go to the back of the school. And I had to duck low because I was walking past my drama class. And I meet a friend and there's this teacher's staircase, so we went through the door and just hid underneath those stairs. And when I tell you, I was on call on every single teacher's iPad, it wasn't a joke. This video was getting too long. Let me know if you want a part 2.
Why do I get completely robbed of all of my rights as soon as I walk into that school? My freedom of speech? Gone. My freedom to use the fucking bathroom? Gone. My freedom to use my phone? Gone. My freedom to just fucking live? Gone. Like, why won't you let me go to the fucking bathroom? I have to piss. That's literally fucking illegal. And like, it's not illegal in school. Why? Why can they just completely take all of my rights when I go to school? That's not right. And then when I say something about it, I get suspended? Okay, fuck you then. Like, every single second of that school day is fucking horrible. Every second of the day, I am just thinking in my head, when am I gonna go home, bro? I am just counting down the minutes to go home, bro. Like, if I am forced to go to school, and every single person in the world is forced to go to school, why do you make it so fucking miserable for everybody? Like, not everybody has that privilege to be homeschooled. Like, they treat us like we're fucking prisoners. It's like I'm going to jail all fucking day, and then I get to go home. Like, that's not fucking right. We all have to do that shit. We all have to go through the torture. And so did they. So why are the fucking teachers and the administration putting us through this? They know what it feels like, but it's literally getting worse for us. The rules are literally just getting fucking stricter, bro. Why are we still following the same school curriculum from fucking 1852, bro? Like, it's actually driving me insane. I am exhausted every single day. I have to wake up at 5 in the morning and I get home at 2. Bro, I can't do anymore. And then they expect us to do assignment on top of assignment on top of another fucking assignment. And they want us to have perfect grades. That's not fucking happening, bro. I can't even learn because of how exhausted I am. None of us can. Give us a break. Give me a fucking break, please.
Things that happen at my public Australian high school that will send anyone into a coma. While I do my makeup, there were fights nearly every single day. I'd say at least like once a week. But, you know, free entertainment, am I right? Something that happened that wasn't so common was bomb threats. I have this one memory of sitting in my sewing class and some guy running down the hallway saying, "Bomb!" We're told to leave everything in the classroom if there's a bomb. But girl, we know it's fake. We know there is no bomb. Another one of my personal faves would have to be the trash bathrooms. When I tell you that I needed to pee so bad some days, and I'd walk into the bathroom and there would just be toilet paper stuck to the roof, to the walls, to the floor, everything. It's like, man, I just need to pee. Tying on to the trash bathrooms would be the bathrooms on fire. Specifically the sanitary bins on fire. Pads, tampons, you name it, was on fire. Something that was brought in after I left school was phone pouches. Every day before school would start, you'd have to put your phone into a pouch and then the pouch would go into a locker. One that gets me heated every time is the senior school and middle school bathrooms. There was a difference. Story time! One time, I really needed to pee, right? So they only had 2 bathrooms unlocked, middle school and senior school. I really needed to pee. Went to the senior school bathroom. Oh, surprise, surprise, it was locked. So I went to the middle school bathroom. It was packed full of middle school girls. While I was in there, the principal comes in and goes, "Come on, girls, get out." And as I walk out, she goes, "You're not middle school, you're senior school." And I'm like, really? And she goes, "Why aren't you using the senior school bathrooms?" "Oh, miss, because they're locked." "No, they're not. Why would they be locked?" "Go open it yourself." Probably one of the worst things that I've seen happen at the school is we just see a male teacher push a female student into a wall. He gets in front of the door so she can't get out. Anyways, that's all I can think of for now. There's probably more, but that's all I can think of for now. Yeah.
Today is October 3rd, which is National Mean Girls Day, so I thought I would tell you guys the story time of how I lived through the movie Mean Girls, where I was obviously Katie, not only because I was on the math team and because I'm a redhead, but also because I was the new girl in the middle of my senior year of high school. So my family moves from a small town in Illinois to a pretty wealthy suburb of Nashville. Me and my sister know no one. For the first week of school, we are eating lunch in the counselor's office alone. And then I had the bright idea to go to the high school football team's Instagram page and follow all the girls who were following that page. One of the girls knows I follow her and invites me to sit with her and her friends at lunch. Little do I know, her friend group is like the preppy clique, okay? I don't know if I would classify them as like the mean girls, but some people in their class definitely did. So I go sit with them at lunch, and for like the first week, I feel like they're like obsessed with me. I'm like, oh my god, I have new friends. Everything's so exciting. I'm getting invited to everything. And then after like 3 weeks, they just stop inviting me to things. And I was okay with that because I was self-aware enough to know that like they had been friends years before they had met me. But it got to the point where like I was completely just being ignored at the lunch table. I did not care what I had to say. I feel like they tried to kind of belittle me. And I remember there was this one time when one of the girls who just like so obviously did not like me was making plans with a group on Wednesday, and she was like, who's free Wednesday? And she went around and asked everyone at the table, like just skipped over me. Like, and no one has ever been like that mean to my face. Like, I feel like usually girls are kind of like sly with it. After that instance, I just left. But wait, there's more. So there's girlfriend group A and girlfriend group B, and they share the same guy friend group. Friend group B had this one girl in it called Rhonda. I had a class with Rhonda, and the first time I met her, she just like looked me up and down and was like, ugh. Like, she had the worst RBF I have ever seen. Anyway, the one party I go to with all of these people, both friend groups and the guy friend group, is at Rhonda's ex-boyfriend's house. We'll call him Mark. Now, Mark is going through it, okay? Mark hasn't been to school in a long time. He smokes a lot and he's an artist. He's also 6'2". I decide at the party that he's the one I want. I think Rhonda could sense that I was going to go for Mark the second she met me, and that's why she hated me. But at the party, I will never forget this. Rhonda goes up to me and she's like,
I heard through the grapevine that you have a crush on so-and-so.
Who says that? Who says that? Like, are you Eric Cartman? I just laugh. I'm like, okay. And then I seduce Mark and I get Mark. Now, full disclosure, I was completely in love with Mark. Mark never loved me back. And me and Mark's relationship was, I feel like, straight out of like a rom-com. He was kind of like the loner dude, and then I was the new girl, and like I would like crawl through his window at night. As an 18-year-old, I was like, damn, my life is a movie. I also remember like the guy friend group, one time we hung out with them, and one of the guys was like, there's something weird about you, Grace. Like, are you bisexual or something? If that tells you anything about how I was like perceived. And I think this happened like all throughout high school, where I would get sort of like adopted by like more popular people like, for a brief time, and they would decide I was too weird for them. Anyway, that's my Mean Girls story, but I would like to add some commentary on it. First off, I just want to say I'm not mad at any of these people. I look back at this whole situation and I laugh. I think it's hilarious. Second thing I will say is that when you move high schools, you realize that nobody is special. Like, there's a doppelganger for every person, and there's also like the same trope of person at every high school. Anyway, I hope you guys found this interesting. Love you guys so much. Bye.
I genuinely think we should make it a new law that if a guy tells you he is single, you should be entitled to 5 minutes of unsupervised snoop time on his phone, and I'm going to tell you my why. So today, I'm sitting in a coffee shop, right, minding my business, doing my work, when all of a sudden I get a text from a number I don't have saved. So immediately I go and I check it, and I got a hey girly text, and I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck could I be getting a hey girly text when I'm not in a relationship, right? I'm not on Hinge, I'm not actively going on dates. How am I getting a hey girly text? Well, all of this leads back to 2 weekends ago when I was at Jackdaw, okay? And I'm making eye tag with this guy in the bar. Eventually we start talking, right? And the first thing that I ask this man, first thing after his name, his age, and where he went to school is, do you have a girlfriend? I look him dead in the face. I say, do you have a girlfriend? He tells me no. I then pivot, turn to his friend, and I say, is he telling the truth? The friend said yes, okay? That's not good enough for me. I double down. I say, is there anybody that thinks that they are your girlfriend? Both of them say no. Okay, so I give him my phone number. The conversation progresses, and he tells me that him and his roommate are going back to their apartment because there's like an apartment party happening. And he invites me and my friend to come. We're like, sorry, we already have plans. However, Liv is throwing a darty tomorrow. You guys should come, okay? So I get his number. Later on in the night, I text him the address, I text him the time, and I say, hope to see you. Okay, the following day, he texts me on my way. Okay, there's like an hour into the darty. I just get a text on my way. 15 minutes later, he shows up. He has 2 friends with him, okay? And I want you to understand that this man has graduated college, and I am in college, and this is a darty of me and my college friends. and there are endless things to do in the city on a hot sunny Saturday, okay? But he chooses to come to this party. He and I are talking, my friends are all talking to his friends. He stays for 2 full hours. Like, the party moved from the roof to the apartment, and him and his friends came with, okay? He and I are talking, whatever. I'm thinking things are great. I ask my friends, I literally vet. I say, has he been texting anyone? They're like, no. I'm like, does he act a little sus? They're like, no, he seems totally fine, okay? So eventually he leaves. I'm still at the darty, and I text him, thanks for coming. He's like, of course, I had so much fun. Let me know what you're doing later, okay? So that's where he left it off. A few hours later, I respond. I said, I'm going to a birthday party right now, but tell me what you're doing later, okay? That's the last I heard from him. I think to myself, well, I must have just misread the situation. I got ghosted. Life goes on, okay? That brings us to today, when I got the text from the random number. Turns out that was his girlfriend, okay? So while he's doing all of this with me, he has a girlfriend, okay? And she texts me, she like seen my TikTok, and she had kind of put 2 and 2 together, and she had confronted him. And she's basically just saying that like they were together when this was all happening. And I immediately am like, oh my fucking God, I am so sorry. Like, I promise you that I did not know he had a girlfriend. Otherwise I would have never done anything. Like, that is not me. I'm so sorry. If there's anything you need from me, any proof, anything, let me know. She's being incredibly nice about it. She's like, don't worry about it, girl. You're not the only one involved. Like, it's obviously on him, not you. There's no way you could have known. She's being so nice. I keep profusely apologizing. Eventually the conversation goes on. We're exchanging details. We follow each other on Instagram, okay? So I go obviously to stalk her Instagram because I'm a girl, right? What else am I to do? When I tell you my jaw hit the floor, this is the most sickeningly stunning person I've ever seen. I was like, how the fuck could we even be in the same league? Like, I'm not gonna put my looks down. I think I'm conventionally attractive. This girl was drop dead stunning, and I immediately was like, how the fuck is he gonna fumble this girl, especially over me? Like, what the actual fuck? Come to find out that same night he came to the darty, and then he asked me what I was doing later, and it didn't end up working out. He went to another girl's house, not his girlfriend, another girl's house, and slept with her. He had like 4 different girlfriends going on all at the same time while in a relationship with this one girl and still pursuing other girls. And honestly, the bottom line is I do not know a single one of my female friends that would act like this in a relationship. I also don't know a single one of my friends that would support my friend in a relationship acting like this. Like, if my friend in a relationship tried to pretend she was single, I'd be like, absolutely not. We're not doing this, okay? Like, I ride for my girls, but not to that degree. I'd be like, hey, I'm not gonna turn you in, but you need to stop what you're doing, and you need to reflect, and you should probably not be in this relationship. How him and all of his friends completely ignored the fact that he had a girlfriend, showed up to this party, lied to my face, and then also he was lying to the other girl the entire time. Like, it actually makes no sense. And I really do believe that as a single female, like, I should get privileges to go through a man's phone before anything starts, because it's just a colossal waste of time.
I'm trying to sleep, but I genuinely can't stop laughing about these stories. I've told these before, and then I've told them with my friend Era, and I'm going to see her next week, so I'm going to get her to be in a story. But I was just thinking about the stupid shit I would do in school, and like, now that I think about it, what an annoying child. I remember once in year 9, the coordinator had brought in a box of chocolates and said, oh, at the end of the class, like, give this to your students. So our teacher, like our math teacher, she's like, oh, whatever, like, she left it at the table, and every time she'd turn around, me and my friend Era would go, I think it was Raw too, we would go and like, we'd steal a little chocolate and like eat it and go back to the table. And we like would continuously do this for like almost the whole lesson. I had this problem where I couldn't stop talking. Like, even if a teacher told me to stop talking, like, I couldn't help myself. Like, I know people find it annoying when people don't stop talking. Like, I literally couldn't help myself. I had to keep talking. So the teacher got mad at the class and she made us all be quiet. My teacher, like, made us be silent. But I really wanted to tell Erimide something, so I wrote it down on a piece of paper and I folded it up and I passed it to Erimide. But of course, the teacher fucking caught me passing the paper. Like, it's just the worst feeling in the world when you see them see it. And she just get the paper. So she comes and she goes, give me that, and she takes the paper. I was thinking, oh, fuck, here we... She opens the paper and she... and it says, I written her, what if she smells the chocolate on our breath? Because she was mad at the class, I was like scared that what if she also smelled the chocolate on our breath? So then she was even more mad. She looks at it, she goes... And she turns around, she takes the chocolate up and she takes it back to the coordinator. And I'm telling you, we were piecing ourselves laughing. Like, it was bad. Like, yes, but it's just like, what are the chances of outing yourself like that through a note? Another time, during a test, this is bad. This is like in year 10. During a test, I was trying to... This is what's wrong with me. I can't help myself. I have to talk. I'm so fucking annoying. It was in year 10 and I really wanted to pass Erimide a note. It was in the middle of a fucking exam. I had a tissue box and I wrote on the tissue with an orange pen. I don't know. It was something about the teacher in the class because it was like a sub teacher. She was like this white lady who was a bit mean. And I like put it in the tissue box. And then I was like to Era, like Era was on the other side of the class. It was like silent. And I was like to Era, like, like telling her, like, ask for the tissue box. And she goes like, oh, Miss, can I have the tissue box? So the teacher picked up the box and took it to Erimide. Erimide gets the tissue box. This girl was not slick, bro. I can still see it in my head. Like, the teacher's standing behind her. Erimide pulls out the tissue and I don't think she saw what was happening. She opened it like this and she's looking like, and she realizes it's got orange writing all over. I don't even remember what it said, but I don't think she knew there was going to be writing. So she like opened the tissue because she didn't understand what else to do, and she just noticed it. And she realized the teacher was behind her. So I just see this, put it on her face and like started to blow her nose in the nose. She didn't even get to read. But the teacher was behind her, like, as if the teacher didn't see her pull out the tissue with orange writing. That just reminded me of one more story. Okay, Mr. Barker, this was a crazy man, okay? He was like our school's vice principal for a bit, then he was randomly teaching us in year 8 math. And I remember one day I left early and apparently he went onto this rant that started from us failing a math test to us living in a garbage bin. Everyone was like, yeah, somehow he connected us failing a math test in year 9 to living in a rubbish bin in the future. Anyway, one time he was really mad at the class and he got us to all write a note about our favorite thing of the year, even though he was mad at us. It was like the end of the term, and I think he was saying like, oh, my favorite thing would be nothing. Like, he just kind of went on a rant. Anyways, Erimide wrote it on white paper in yellow highlight. You can just imagine what yellow highlighter looks like. God, who the fuck writes on white paper in yellow highlighter? You know. Anyways, he was mad. He was ranting. She gave it to him. Like, everyone was handing this. I'm sorry. He got his. He's like, oh, can't even read this. I don't know. It was, okay, see, I'm not even laughing after. When I get it out, it's not even funny. The idea that there was like this old angry man and then he just got so humbled by the paper being like yellow highlighted and we're like, oh, can't even read this. And we all just started pissing us over it. School was so fun. Like, and then I said like once, like, I miss high school. Like, it's like the best environment. Someone's like, oh my God. Like, obviously high school's fucking shit. There's so much shit stuff, but like, don't act like you don't piss yourself dying with your friends like most days. Like, it was a funny time.
I am on to see my husband. I'm happy to see.
So I'm moving away to college next week, and in honor of that, I thought I would tell you about some of the unhinged things that I did and things that happened to me during my senior year of high school. So the first one takes place during volleyball season, which is always at the beginning of the year, like September, October. And me and these like 5 other girls on the team all had this group chat, and we were all upperclassmen, so we could all drive. So usually like before game days, we would all go out to eat with one another. All sitting in the food court talking, and then all of a sudden like the entire team text thread starts going off, and it's messages from the coaches about information about the away game that was happening that night. For context, we used to have a different coach actually, and he stepped down about 2 years ago. But a year ago, me and these girls like went on Facebook and happened to find his Facebook, and we like found a bunch of like really funny selfies that he took. So we all had them stashed away in our camera roll. And on this app that we use to text like the coaches and the entire team, like you could give yourself a profile photo. So me and all these girls decided to change our profile photos to different photos of our old coach. And not only did we change our photo, but we went in the text thread chat and we started like role playing as our old coach. And it was really funny because the assistant coach in the group chat, she had worked beside him because she had coached us all our years in volleyball. So she knew exactly who we were being. And some of the other girls on the team also knew of this coach because they had him. And then to like the freshmen and sophomores who hadn't had this coach, it just looked like we were all role playing as like this random guy. Meanwhile, it was our old coach from like 2 years ago. While we're on the volleyball train, that's also the time where I would do the school play. And so play practices would work out like they were 2:45, like my school ends around 2, and they would go from about 2:45 to 5, and then volleyball practice would be about 4 to 6 if I remember correctly. And so like those practices would overlap a lot. So I would have to split time between play practice and volleyball practice. And the thing about me is my coach always benched me. I wasn't very good, but I just played volleyball really to hang out with my friends and because like I'd played it for so many years. During volleyball season 2, at the beginning of every practice, we had to run 10 laps around our like really huge gym. And like obviously as someone who didn't play, like I never wanted to do that. So I would use my play practice as an excuse to like come late, and I would come late every single practice. and not have to do the laps. And I would come in with like food I had gotten earlier, like during play practice, like a Sheetz milkshake or like McDonald's or Chick-fil-A every single day. And I would always come in right as they were finishing up and everyone was red. Meanwhile, I just had my food, and the coaches literally hated it. Like they would get so mad, but they could never say anything to me because they knew they couldn't say anything to me because they just benched me. So it was really no point in me running. And also on top of that, like whenever I was on the bench, like every single game, my dad would always bring me a Pepsi. So while everyone had their water, I was just always drinking a Pepsi, which totally isn't allowed. But again, nobody ever said anything. I can't lie, at the end of senior year, it was really rough out here. So in order to get through it, I would literally wake up extra early. Like I would wake up at 6 a.m. and drive 10 minutes out of my way every single morning to go to the gas station and get a Fountain extra large Diet Coke and carry it around and drink it all day with me at school. Okay, this next one's like one of the most embarrassing things that has literally ever happened to me. But so my school back in January took us all on a ski trip, like 9 through 12. And I had never skied before, but like 10 of my friends were going and they were all like, you don't need to know how to ski. Like we went last year, we didn't know how to ski and we picked it up really quick. So they all convinced me to go on the ski trip, even though I had no prior knowledge of ever knowing how to ski. One of my teachers though was going on this trip and she's been skiing for like 35 years. So she kept telling me like, oh, I'll teach you how to ski. I'll teach you how to ski. And in my head, I'm like, okay, great. That's perfect. As I mentioned earlier, a bunch of my friends were going and one of them like skis with her family, like on the side. So she said she would bring me like a pair of snow pants. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. But what I didn't know is like a bunch of people were hitting her up for snow pants because like everyone knew that she skied. And so she did end up bringing me snow pants. But unfortunately, like she just had so many pairs that she had to give out that the ones that she gave me were like really ill-fitting, like they were really big. So like they weren't fitting and they kept falling off me. So we had to do like this DIY like makeshift thing to like make them fit, and they were literally hanging on by a thread. So I'm up on the ski hill and like my teacher's trying to teach me how to ski and I keep falling because like I was really horrible at first when I first learned how to ski. And I keep falling, and the one time I fall, like I wiped out so hard that my entire like ski pants came down. And I had leggings on underneath, but I was like dragging across the ground. So like I got back up, right? And my teacher's trying to like fix my ski pants for me. My bright purple thong was like stretched all the way over my leggings and like kind of like hanging onto my shirt because I had like wiped out in such a weird way that it like dragged up my thong. And she was like, oh, you might want to fix that. And I was like, yeah, I might. During my AP bio class, my teacher would always put up on the board like when answers were wrong, and he would do it like anonymously so that like the students wouldn't like laugh when someone got something wrong, but he would put it up so that he could like teach and like explain to us why the answer was wrong. So he put my answer up, and he didn't put my name, but my writing is so distinctive that literally everyone in my grade knows it. Like every single person could tell my writing because it's so small. And so he puts up my answer, and we had been writing like an open-ended about like mouse pee. So I was writing it, and like in my answer it said mouse urine, like urine, but I had wrote yearn like Y-E-A-R-N. So everyone laughed and thought I was a complete idiot, and I can't lie, I kind of agree with them. So this next one pains me to admit because I really love my AP Lit teacher, but I did not read a single thing that she assigned. Like she assigned like maybe 7 stories throughout the school year for us to read, and like 1 over the summer. Not one of them was read. What I would do is I would ask Snapchat AI for a summary of the story, and then when we would do like discussions on them or writing, I would make stuff up, and somehow I still got a 5 on the exam. So if my teacher's seeing this, I really do love her, and I apologize. Like, I'm really sorry. I was president of my student government this year, and so one of the things that I did was sell like spirit merch at the football games, and like what we sold would like coincide with like whatever theme that certain game happened to be. So I'm selling them one night, and the teacher that's in charge of student government is helping me set up, and so everything goes well, like we sell our stuff, and then she leaves at halftime, so I'm helping her pack her car, right? So that's fine, like she leaves, everything's fine, like I go off for 30 minutes, like I'm hanging out with friends, like I'm in the student section enjoying my time at the football game. And suddenly I realize I don't have my phone. So I go back to the concession stand because I'd been waiting in line for like 15 minutes and it's not there. And I'm like looking all around, like asking people if they've seen my phone, and they haven't. So like I literally have no idea where my phone is. So I go up to the cheer coach because I know that she has this teacher's number, and I ask her to call her and to ask her if maybe she'd seen my phone by any chance. And apparently I had left my phone in that teacher's car. So I go get my friend because she's the only person I have notifications on my phone because I am a personal D&D warrior, and I'm like, can you call my phone? So this teacher who has my phone that I left in her car answers me and is like, oh, you can meet me at the motel, because mind you, it's a Friday night. Like I cannot go the entire weekend without my phone. So I literally have to leave the football game at 9:30 at night and meet her and another teacher at a motel to get my phone back. This last one takes place on my birthday. So I'm driving through the city, right? Because I'm going to a restaurant I had never tried before. And on the side of the road, I see a man, and he has a sign saying, why lie, need beer. So I thought this was the funniest thing ever, and this was the first time I'd been to this neighborhood, but I know my teacher like lived in this neighborhood, and we would always joke about how this neighborhood was like slummy and like unsophisticated. So like I snap a photo and I literally send it to her through email, and I make the subject line like the name of her neighborhood. It was literally the funniest thing ever that I was just sending her a photo of a random man saying, "Why lie, need beer."